Hello everybody, Всем привет. Today I want to talk about refactoring and a bug I'm encountering and what I've been working on to fix this bug. So basically my game main CPP file is getting pretty big. It's 7,200 lines. And so I said, hey, let's just try and shrink this down. Let's see if we can rip something out. But don't code anything, just take a look and let's give me some suggestions for what we should do to like refactor this and pull some things out. So I came up with a couple ideas, but basically a lot of the rendering was what it wanted to pull out. So I could, it said this deduplication of the rendering, then add some ISO math, some isometric math, then some context structures, and then I don't know what setup extraction is and tail extraction. This is probably this is like the new game screen, and then this is like the post game screen, but we could pull those out. And then also the per frame activities, we could pull those out, and we could also have some event handling stuff. So there are ways to break this up and refactor it, and I just wanted to try and shrink it a little bit, just because it was getting a little bit unwieldy. So I went through this. I threw in a lot of stuff to do for it to test against. Threw in a lot of code. And it kept being like, oh, I'm missing these files. And so I just kept throwing in what it was missing. And it came up with this render viewport and some integration steps. And what did it say here? It said it didn't have enough to do all the files or something. And I said, you do have enough tokens to just do it and present the files. So it did make the change in game main CPP, and here it actually, because before it just gave me the render viewport, like the new piece that it split out, and then it gave me like an integration into how to do all this crazy stuff in game main. And I was like, I have the tokens, just use the tokens, give me the game main that I want. And then it still dumped the integration. Claude lately has been doing this where it will represent files to you. So I'm like, oh, okay. And so I added in a couple more files it wanted, and I said I can add the file to my CMake list, because it was like, if you gave me your CMake file lists, I could also update it. And I'm like, I don't need you to do that for me, AI. I can handle that myself. So anyway, it goes through, comes up with everything. Still missing a couple of castle screen things because there's something with the boat map frame. Some strange thing that it couldn't resolve, so I just gave it castle screen for it to look at that. And then we ended up with again these. Okay, yeah, so we did do the viewport, and then I basically say, well, let's update my README architecture, and I threw in a bunch of other new files that I've recently put in, and just asked it to make lots of updates to the documentation. And then I think I found some bugs inside the yes, so then I did get this control panel bug. So the castle cursor stopped working as well. Couldn't find that. So there was some bug it found also with the whirlpool warp changing the cursor, I guess. But anyway, I kept running into this control panel button crashing the game bug. So I'm going to quickly try and pull this out here and demonstrate what that bug is. So even here, it just crashed, right? So clicking on the control panel button crashes the game. Why would that happen? It goes through, comes up with some ideas, but doesn't really give me much to work with. So then I started out a new chat session here and said, I'm playing this game. In the first few turns of the game, I have no issues with the control panel, but at some point when I click on the control panel, after some number of turns, I intend to save the game, but clicking on the control panel causes the crash. There's no documentation. There's no nothing. Nothing happens in the screen that opens as well. Um, and so I basically just have no information as to what's causing it. It just crashes. So I was like, please take a look at the control panel logic. If you don't see anything, maybe we can do some debug info to a text file. It happened after I broke out the render viewport CPP from the game main, so I wonder if something could have broken there, like with the button ordering. It's control panel button 6, but the buttons are numbered 0 through 5, so it's actually button 5 that we're talking about. The control panel never comes up when the crash happens. On the first turn of the game and the first few turns, actually, the control panel button works fine. That isn't the case because it broke just now when I'm testing it, but that every time I'm like demoing this for a video, I always discover something new. So um, today is no different. So it takes some, it starts looking through things, wants to look at fog lookup, but it really thinks that it's something with hero moves, hero movement points, hero max movement points. Uh, excuse me, that the like maybe the AI is recruiting heroes and that's not growing, that array isn't growing somehow. So this is kind of the best guess that it has, and I just keep throwing in more files like my new day files. I think yeah, here it pulls in my buttons. These are my button cases. Case 5 is control panel, and found it. This is the smoking gun. It always like it may or may not be the smoking gun, but the AI loves to call it the smoking gun. But yeah, it seems to think that the AI economy method recruits heroes mid-turn, appends to GS heroes, but then doesn't append the movement points. It only resizes hero moves and only inside the AI block. Hero MP and hero max MP are never resized. So it thinks it's doing that. Well, I dump in the AI files that I've created and it starts digging in there, but then it needs to look at my hero pool, the one that actually pushes the heroes back when you dismiss them or when they're defeated or um, something like that happens, or it reshuffles every week when you get potentially a new hero. And so then it thinks that it found this, and it's also saying why it thinks it happens after several turns, not on turn 1. So it goes through and then wait, reconsider. But new day resizes all 3 next turn. So even though the AI just did it, so it actually wasn't the issue. But then there's an unguarded indexing. So it just goes and goes and goes and decides to resize all 3 arrays, guard the one guarded access that it found, which I'm like, why would you do this if it's moving? Because it's actually tracking like the animation of the hero. And I'm like, it's the button press is not being affected by the animation. So the animation isn't going to cause this. And then its suggestion is to add some crash logging. Okay, well, I then go in and I add this crash logging. And I ask, why would you do this? Hero is moving. That's not necessary. We talk a little bit about this, and then I said, okay, well, let's do fix 1 first. Don't worry about the moving part. And then also it was running the AI turns even after a player was eliminated. The AI was still getting a turn even after it was gone with no heroes. And so I was like, let's just clean that up and remove that. So we went through and I was still getting the error. So I said, okay, let's make this debug state and add something that's going to do this debug log and heartbeat log, so that we can see it. And we put that out. And then ever since I did this, I haven't been able to get it to crash. So let's do a quick test here and just see if it's gonna see if because I'm actually screen recording, see if we're gonna actually be able to do something here. So we got Croto. We'll go get some boots and see. Okay, we got some boots. Let's get some money. And maybe some more money over there. Oh, there, we did get a crash. Yes. All right, so I'm going to go have a look now at what the debug was, because this is new for me now. This is new. So that's the heartbeat, and this was the debug log. So I guess I can actually just dump these in. Let's do a little bit of live decoding here and just say, okay, I finally got the crash to repeat, and here were the logs. Do you see anything that stands out? Let's just have a quick look at that. Snap screen, okay. But I think what's going on here is that snap screen is doing a 640 by 480 screen snap for something in the rendering, and that since this is actually a weird bug because I have increased the resolution. If I push F11, I can increase my resolution to 1280 by 960 or 1920 by what was it, 1920 by something else. So let's see if get the renderer's actual output, not a hard-coded 640 by 480. Okay, so that's actually pretty cool. And I think what that is, okay, so I can explain what's going on here. Let me just pull it up actually again. So when I go in to this screen, it's actually taking a screenshot. It's taking a snap of the background screen to use as the background here. So there's no animation, which this may actually not be correct format for the game. I'm just going to see if I can get some spot in here with animation. You'll notice like the C isn't animating here, for example. I want to see if I can go over to where the windmill is, and you see the windmill's not animating, but now it is again. So the animations pause. You know, the archer here is not animating, so the animations are paused, and that's because I'm doing a screenshot snap. So I'm stopping the animation, which I don't actually know if the real game does that. We can do a quick check and see. But this was causing the bug, and so it proposed that the updated version here should be where we take the actual output And so I mean, I can test this here. So right now I just increased the size to 1280, and let's see if it, yep, see, that caused it. So I thought it was something with the AI or whatever, but instead it was this. So that is really cool to find it. It's one of those useful things when you're filming. That's when the bugs come out. And so thank you for joining me on my bug finding journey today. This is cool. I'm gonna stop the video now and go get to work on fixing this properly and just double checking that it compiles. But I was kind of nervous after I did that refactor. I was nervous that I had broken something pretty serious with the rendering and that that's what was causing this error. And instead, it's the screenshot snap doing a fixed resolution. When I when I added the options to increase the resolution, that's when that bug was introduced, and I didn't catch it until now. That's how it came out. I thought it might be due to the AI, and I guess I debugged one possible instability in the AI. I wasn't really seeing that issue, but but it was, it caught it upon a code review, this fix with expanding the arrays, which they then got expanded inside new day instead of during the AI turn when the AI would recruit a new hero. Um, but it's probably smarter to do it just to not have conflicting scenarios where it could get out of sync. So anyway, I think we fixed, or maybe not fixed that bug, but we have detected that bug and we know what's causing it, so we can attempt to fix. So just following up on this, I'm going to test it live. I'm actually compiling in this window right here. We're going to just do a new build of everything. And I fed in my my control panel documents just to make sure they were the latest, because I have made some changes since I tried this debugging. And then I threw in my latest game main to remove the logging from it. So it just went through and did that. And this will just take a second, and we will pull it up, and we'll see we'll see if we can change the resolution of the game, and then see if that is fixed or if we need to do another iteration. Um, sometimes the AI is very confident that it fixed an issue, and who knows? We'll find out. We'll find out here real fast. So just finished building. We are up. We're going to do new game, standard game, claw. Move Lord Kilbert around, and I need to learn the metals here. But so first, we're able to do this when we're at the fixed resolution, no problem. So let's bump it up a notch. And hey, that worked. That's cool. I'm going to actually try bumping it up even one more, so I can even do the higher resolution, and it also still works. So that's actually great. I'm really happy to see that.